Welcome to the English 403B British and World Literature Introduction. This short video will get you started in the course and show you how to navigate it. Let's get started. This semester, we'll be continuing our study of British and World Literature from English 403A. We'll go ahead and start with Romanticism, which began at the end of the 18th century and continued into the 19th century. We'll be looking at various poems from that time period. Then we'll be having our first novel unit in which we study the 19th century novel Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. We'll then be hopping ahead in time to the early 20th century and looking at modernism through poetry and short stories. We'll then read the 20th century novel 1984 by George Orwell. Our literary studies will conclude by looking at imperialistic literature, and then we'll finish the course by creating a resume and cover letter so that you can, as seniors, have that when you enter the job force. Many of you have already done that. Before we get started, I need to make a note about plagiarism. It definitely is not tolerated at CAVA, but as teachers, we often see mistakes with plagiarism. Many students don't realize that they're plagiarizing or committing an act of plagiarism. Please note that any words, ideas, sentences, etc. that are not original is considered plagiarism unless you cite it as a source. Please also note that there is no reason to plagiarize. A lot of times students get overwhelmed and stressed out, and they feel that if they just got that essay from the internet and submitted it, that they could pass the course. It's much more worth talking to your teachers, trying to get extensions and getting help than jeopardizing your grade and possibly even graduation with plagiarizing. All right, no more about the plagiarism junk. Let's go into the fun stuff of the course. How do you access your course? Well, when you log into English 403B, you're going to see a home page much like this one. Then you're going to see under your course home the key items that you need, the syllabus, the calendar, the teacher contact information, as well as the announcements area, which will be extremely important. The gradebook here is also another key piece to your success. Let's start with the calendar. When you click on the calendar link, a calendar will open up that will give you the entire semester laid out. A good place to look is grade activities so that you can see when big projects are due and when you need to have things turned in. This is especially important if you plan on going away for a while or if you have a very stressful, busy-filled life, which most of us do. This will help you plan for success. The other really important area is the announcements area. Each week, you'll have the weekly announcements that outline what you need to be doing that week and what is due. It's extremely important that you read every part of the announcements, and you'll also find your weekly starter link in the announcements. Please don't skip these. Also, it's a good idea to check for any additional announcements that may be posted. This area is especially important since we don't want to overwhelm your K-mail. So we often post information that is key to success in this area. Many students may be stressing that they don't have a copy of the anthology, but I want to remind you that you don't need to worry because there is an anthology online at this link. A lot of students who are out and about at practices or different sports events, different things that they are busy with, their jobs even, will download the anthology to their Kindle or to another device so that they can access it wherever they may be at. All right, so let's talk about getting started in the course. The course will not start until Thursday, February 5th, but you can go ahead and look around before that point. Then you're going to start the course introduction, and it's key that you go through each slide. So you'll click on Unit 1, Course Introduction. Then go through every single slide, making sure you read all the information. You can click on Lesson Resources for additional help. When you click on Lesson Resources, a box will open up that gives you student guides, unit mentor guides, etc. Once again, it's key that you watch the course introduction video that's part of the course introduction lesson. Click through every single slide. Also, let me reiterate that throughout the course, it's essential that you watch every single slide and click and read each slide. This is basically the way that you are going to class each day. If you miss these slides, you're going to miss essential information that will help you succeed in the course. All right, so what happens when you need to submit an assignment to the Dropbox? Go ahead at the top of your menu, next to your gradebook, you're going to see Doc Sharing and Dropbox. Click on Dropbox, click on Submit Assignment, choose the correct basket for the assignment, and then add your attachment as if you were adding it to an email, and then you can click Submit Assignment. If you have information or you need to add anything into this box, the teacher also receives that information. All right, last thing that I want to talk about are the live and recorded sessions and which ones are required. Once per week, you'll have what's called the weekly starter. This is a required recording that's posted Monday morning unless we have a holiday, and then it'll be posted Tuesday morning. There's a short quiz for each weekly starter. It's essential that you watch all of the weekly starter instead of moving ahead to the information for the quiz. By doing so, you'll get information that will help you succeed, information that is essential for success on assignments, and also any extra information. A lot of times we receive K-mails as teachers about questions that were answered in the weekly starter. So you don't want to make that mistake. So watch those weekly starters. We do try our best to keep them short, sweet, and to the point. All right, so where do you find the weekly starter if you don't want to use the link in the announcements, or it may be that you missed that week's announcement and you need to make it up? Some teachers may put their weekly starter in the unit where you're working. For my courses, Miss Elliott's courses, to make it easier for you this semester, I have made its own unit at the bottom for weekly starter links and quizzes. This way, you don't have to go through and search the unit trying to find that particular link and quiz. The other sessions include a weekly spotlight and a student choice session. The weekly spotlights are held numerous times during the week by various teachers. You are welcome to go to any weekly spotlight. They're going to be on topics that have to do with the lessons or assignments that will be coming due. Please go to these at least once a week to get help. Also, if you have additional questions, need one-on-one support, the student choice sessions are available. We definitely recognize that these are optional, but students who tend to do the best in the courses do attend or at least watch recordings. All right, so let me go ahead and give you my teacher contact information for my students. My name is Sarah Elliott. My email address is selliott@cleva.org. However, the best ways to contact me are through K-mail or text message if you need an immediate reply. The phone number for text is 209-568-4859. A lot of times I'm in live sessions during the day and may not be able to call you back immediately, but through a text, no matter where I'm at or what session I'm in, I can often respond. Okay, so you've just completed the introduction recording. Now your next step is to make sure that you attend the required onboarding Thursday at 11 a.m. Miss Knapp will be holding that session because I will be conducting another courses session at that time. If you have questions after that session, go ahead and K-mail me and I would be happy to help. I look forward to working with you and supporting you in your studies. Thank you so much. Have a great semester.